Hi, I'm Royce with Viking Wax Press. Today I'm giving my 2024 UFL Preseason Running Back Power Rankings. First, I'll cover my team rankings and then talk a little about each running back. I base my power rankings on team depth and individual performance, and I consider stats from last year, potential for growth, and NFL experience. I'll start with the team I have ranked 8th and go up from there. At the 8th spot, I have the St. Louis Battlehawks. They lost Brian Hill, their starter last year, and are hoping ex-New York Giant Wayne Gallman can take his place. But it's been so long since he's played, I will need to see it to believe it. The 7th spot belongs to the San Antonio Brahmas. They had 100% turnover in their running back room, so it will take them a few games for them to gel. The backs they do have are fully capable, especially if Anthony McFarland plays the way I think he will in this league. The Renegades are at number 6, but are so deep it's a shame they aren't higher. The reason they aren't is because they just don't have a top 5 running back. Abram Smith carries the DC Defenders up to number 5. He's a top 2 running back, but the rest of the running back room is below average, so by default, they don't have the overall quality to put them higher. The Birmingham Stallions take number 4. They're deep, well-rounded, and well-coached. I will grant them as the team with the most potential to climb up the list if they can stay healthy. In 3rd place, I have the Memphis Showboats. The recent signing of Trey Williams jumped them up the list. Their 4 running backs are led by Darius Victor and are capable of leading the league in yards per carry. Michigan Panthers nail the 2nd spot. Wes Hills led the USFL in rushing yards last year, and Matt Colburn gives them a great ball-carrying tandem. At number 1 is the Houston Roughnecks. They have last year's USFL Offensive Player of the Year in Mark Thompson, and they have a fullback from the Chicago Bears, and they combine with proven role players to form a backfield that should scare every single defense in the USFL. With their inexperience at QB, it's good to know a quick handoff will always be a good option for them. Now let's talk a little bit about each UFL running back. Mark Thompson is the biggest reason the Roughnecks have the number 1 spot. He's a dominant runner with an unmatchable will to prove all doubters wrong, and he will. I fully believe Mark will be the UFL MVP in 2024. Houston also brought in Ryan Nall, ex-Bear and Oregon State Beaver standout. If Roughnecks fans thought Max Borghi was good last year, wait till they see Wrecking Ball Nall in action. TJ Pledger backed up Mark Thompson on the Gamblers last season, and he knows Coach Curtis Johnson's system. He'll be one of the best running backs coming off the bench this year. The Roughnecks took Ezra Gray with their first pick in the January 15th Super Draft, even though they really could have used depth at other positions, like quarterback. He's a good runner, but the consensus is he'll slide in to become the top returner, allowing wide receiver Justin Hall to focus on his receiver spot. After spending time with the Bengals in 2022, Shamari Jones was rarely used by the Gamblers last year. Tyon Evans starred at the University of Louisville before spending time with the Carolina Panthers. He'll challenge Shamari Jones for a roster spot. Now for the Michigan Panthers. Wes Hills hit the USFL like a sledgehammer for the New Orleans Breakers last year and ended the year with the most rush yards in the USFL. He'll challenge Mark Thompson, Abram Smith, and Darius Victor for the same milestone in the UFL's inaugural season. Matt Colburn was the top running back on the Stars the last 2 seasons and will be playing under the same offensive coordinator for the Panthers this year. Look for him to have a lot of carries supporting Wes Hills. Raymond Calais is a kick return specialist with some NFL and CFL experience. He'll likely make the team as the Panthers' primary returner. Nate McCrary has camp time with 5 NFL teams and took some NFL regular season snaps in 20 and 21. He'll need to prove he still has some mojo left. Toa Taua spent the end of last year on the Panthers, but may not make the cut this year. The Memphis Showboats running back room is laden with talent. Darius Victor introduced his "Thick Thighs Save Lives" motto with the New Jersey Generals in 2022 and went on to be the USFL Offensive Player of the Year that year. His running style has been compared to a bowling ball made of knife blades, and he will be one of the 5 best running backs in the UFL this year. Kierith White started for the Showboats after Alex Collins, may he rest in peace, went down with injury last season. He's good enough to be a starter on a couple UFL teams and will make a great running back too. The Showboats signed Trey Williams a couple days ago, and Memphis fans should be excited. He played the past 2 seasons as Darius Victor's counterpart for the New Jersey Generals, where the two constantly pushed their team to the top of the stat boards. If Darius Victor is a bowling ball, Trey is a firecracker, putting up almost 6 yards a carry last year. His running style reminds me of former Roughneck, current Brahma, Bryson Allen, small, speedy, and explosive. Kennedy Brooks rounds out this excellent running back room. He had a great college career at Oklahoma and was on the Eagles practice squad in 2022. He could be poised to deliver defenses a knockout punch. The Stallions are up next. C.J. Marable was the Stallions starter last year, outperforming his great 2022 season. He ran for 523 yards in 2023, but more impressively had 4.4 yards per carry. Bo Scarborough had a phenomenal 2022 postseason, but was injured last year. He has an NFL-ready build and, if he can stay healthy, could easily be a top 3 running back in the league. Bo and CJ could challenge Houston's amazing duo for the top UFL running back tandem. Bobby Holly is a 5'11", 240-pound fullback who was injured last season but showed flashes of brilliance in the 2022 season. Larry Roundtree was with the Chargers for 2 years and then the Houston Texans last year. He holds the Missouri University record for total rush yards. Can he translate those successes to the UFL? Ricky Person was a seldom-used bench guy last year for the Stallions. The advantage is he knows Holtz's system and gets almost 6 yards a carry when he runs. This team is so deep, however, I'm not sure he will see the field in 2024. Now for the defenders and superstar Abram Smith. Abram is a half step behind Mark Thompson in the race for the UFL's best running back. He carried the defenders on his back last year with 791 yards, best in the XFL. Darius Higgins was with the Steelers and Colts last year during preseason. He has the potential to be running back 2 on the defenders. Tobias Taylor's 6', 225-pound frame could step into a fullback role for the defenders. He also proved he can catch passes with the Indoor Football League's Wyoming team. Let's see what he can do outdoors. Puka Williams should be a top 3 kick returner in the UFL this year after exploding in the playoffs last year. Puka is fun to say and should make the roster in the returner role. The last defender on the list is Cameron Harris. The former Miami Hurricane running back hasn't been the same since a knee injury ended his college career. He will need to prove he has returned to form if he wants to make the roster. The Renegades running back room is pretty loaded. They're just missing that top 5 guy. They're hoping Devian Smith can get even better this year after leading the team in rushing yards last year. He's a solid back with really good pass-catching ability. Devin Darrington was the Orlando Guardians rushing leader in 2023 and had 4.4 yards per carry. Could he be even better in a good offensive scheme? Morgan Ellison was the Seattle Sea Dragons' top running back in 2023. He had an eye-popping 5 yards per carry. Only Ben DiNucci had more rush yards for the Sea Dragons. It could be hard to keep him off the field. Letty Brown was huge off the bench for the Renegades in 2023. If the Renegades are too deep to keep him, another team should grab him up quick. Day Hunter signed with the Renegades in December. The playmaker from Hawaii and Liberty will likely be a victim of numbers in Arlington. Next we have the Brahmas. Son of Buccaneer great Booger McFarland, Anthony was on the Steelers for the past 4 seasons and saw regular season action. He should step right into the RB1 spot for the Brahmas. John Lovett started 2 games for the Vegas Vipers last year and averaged 4 yards a carry. His strength and ability to catch balls out of the backfield will be utilized often on the pass-heavy Brahmas offense. Small, speedy, and explosive, Bryson Aline was a star in the making on Bum Phillips's 2023 Roughnecks team. He's well versed in the offense and is a potential game-changer, big playmaker. Jalen Samuels spent time with the Steelers, Texans, and Cardinals. He can also play receiver, so he's a good fit for RB4 on this team. The last place running back team is the St. Louis Battlehawks. Wayne Gallman has 5 years NFL experience and even started 10 games for the Giants, but it's been 3 years since he's seen the field. Can he shake off the rust and give the Battlehawks the balance they'll need to keep defenses on their toes? Training camp will reveal the truth. Mateo Durant played okay behind Brian Hill last year and could do the same behind Gallman. But if Gallman doesn't cut the mustard, then yikes. Jacob Sailors was an Atlanta Falcons practice squad guy last year. The Battlehawks are hoping he can push for a lead running back role. Kayvon Latulis is a pretty good back out of Missouri State, drafted by the Battlehawks during the offseason. He has as good of a shot as any of the other Battlehawks to make an impact. That's it for today. Comment if you agree with the rankings. Comment if you disagree. Subscribe either way. Again, this has been Royce with Viking Wax Press. God is good, y'all. Mark Thomas is not his name, it's Thompson.